Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Glimmer Gang podcast. It is release week. There is excitement in the air, and it is time for LGSs to finally release the game, and we cannot be more excited. We're here to cover all the basics that you guys need to know in preparing for your events. And with that, everyone, take it away. Okay, boys, so it is release week for LGSs, and there's a lot to prepare for. Most stores are doing pre release style events, and this may or may not be folks' first time going to shop for events. It can be nerve wracking and also exciting at the same time. So, the first thing I want to go through is if we can go back to the first time we went to an LGS, whether that be for just shopping, for an event. Blake, can you go through that first? And what was your first time going to an LGS like?
Let's see. Uh, yeah, first time for an LGS way back in Florida was just kind of like the coolest experience ever. Of just finding a store with all of this cool nerd stuff uh, that they had for sale and all this just fun stuff going on with people playing at tables and everything. But that was a long, long time ago in like high school before I really got into anything. But I will say, um, when I moved up here to Canada, it was a whole different experience because I was coming in to learn more about it than just experience it. My first time going to an LGS here for an event was also nerve wracking because I had no idea what to do going in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but thankfully, everyone was super friendly and directed me to where I needed to go. And yeah, everyone directed me to where I needed to go and just helped me have a fun time. So it just a matter of walking into the door and telling people what you're there for, and they'll send you right the right way.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I know that, like you said, going into LGSs for the first time can be nerve wracking, because there are going to be people there who have been going there for a while and they know the people, uh, they know the owners or the people that work there. And Shawn, I want to get your experience next on the first time going into an LGS and what that was like for you.
Oh, it was so long ago. I don't know if I can even remember now. Um, my first time going to an LGS, I remember it very distinctly. I was actually, I had made it all the way to college by this point. By the time I had hit my first LGS, because anytime before that, I had always just gotten cards from either my cousin or big box stores. That was about it. Went to my first LGS, and I had never walked into a store and been like, I belong here. There was magic stuff on the walls and Pokemon stuff on the walls and comic books and all sorts of great stuff. It can be very daunting your first time in an LGS, but I also think that your first time going into any LGS is a very telling experience. You can really tell the kind of environment, the kind of mentality a lot of the people there have, the attitudes that people have. You can tell that all pretty much right when you walk in the door. Are they welcoming or are they not? Are they exclusive? Are they snobs? Are they like, oh, look at this kid or whoever, you walk in with like a beat up cardboard box for your deck, et cetera, you can tell if people are being elitist or not really quickly. And thankful for me, it was a very wonderful experience, and I still go to that shop to this day.
Awesome. Well, let's see. Let's go back to mine. I think the first time that I went to an LGS, I had done a few Pokemon pre-releases. This was, let's say, my freshman year, so only like 3 or 4 years ago. Uh, and this was like I think my freshman, maybe eighth grade freshman year. And I went to a local community college held Pokemon pre-releases, and so I went to those, and then I heard about an LGS, and I'm like, ooh, what's this? Uh, and so later in the year, I went and it was just a really cool experience because, like you said, it's like you get to meet all these people who are like-minded. You get to meet all these people who are interested in the same thing. They're going there for the same reason. They're going to there to play X game, and this weekend it's going to be for Lorcana. Uh, I know I found a learn to play in like a little tournament this weekend, and the max was 42, and it filled up, I think, in under 24 hours. So people are excited, and there's going to be a lot of friendly people there. And I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for people to get connected because get connected, you make these friends, and then they'll shoot you a text saying, "Hey, we're going down to the shop. You want to come and play? We're gonna run our own little tournament." And I think that's something that's really cool. Is you get to meet some like lifelong best friends. I think a lot of people can say they've met their best friends at LGSs and just through tournaments. And I think that's one of the coolest things is it's a meeting place for like-minded people, and in reality, there's not a lot of those. I mean, you could go like say like if you like football, go to a football stadium, but there's not a lot of things where you can just go sit down and hang out with your friends in the same like-minded space. And so I want to move on to what you should expect once you enter the LGS. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, like what you should do or what you expect once you open that door?
In terms of like event going or just going.
Uh, I think this weekend, like what should one expect going into an LGS this weekend for Lorcana?
Yeah, if you're going into your LGS for Lorcana, the best first thing you want to go to is go to one of the shopkeepers, one of the clerks, and especially if you're there for an event, there is usually one at a computer, and they will be checking people into the event to make sure that you are there. So that is one of the first things you want to do is ask where you need to check in and make sure that you are checked in for your event.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. Shawn, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say almost the same exact thing as Blake. When you first get there, also arrive early, especially if you're
Hmm.
showing up
Oh
for an
yeah,
event. If you're showing up for an event, and especially if it wasn't sign up beforehand, if it's sign up on the spot, make sure to be there early. Expect a line, and like Blake said, check in as soon as you can.
uh, yeah, especially with these events this weekend. Like you said, most of them, if not all of them, are sold out. So it is going to be very crowded, and there's going to be a lot of people to go through. So yeah, I would say maybe try to get there maybe half an hour early if
Oh yeah,
possible, if your store is open before the event starts.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's pretty common practice too. If you are late by a certain amount of time, they're going to give your spot away. So keep that in
there
mind
will
as
be
well.
people lingering, waiting for
Yeah,
spots to open up.
They will be circling, waiting for the first drop of blood.
Yeah. Uh, so the next thing is after you've gone and checked in, what should you try to do next after you've made the shop aware that you're there and you're ready to play? What do you guys think a player or uh, anyone in general should do next after that step?
I would say you're going to want to, go through all of your supplies. Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to sit down at a table and realize, where's my deck? You know, depending on the event. I know an event like this, you're not bringing a deck with you, but there are things you'll need.
Like
And
sleeves and dice,
yeah,
make sure
oh
you
yeah,
have stuff to
absolutely.
protect your deck, you have stuff to play. Uh, And make sure I think one of the other things is make sure you just brush up on the rules. If you like are newer and haven't been playing Lorcana as much as some have, make sure like you brush up on the rules. So you if it's not a learn to play and it's just like a starter deck tournament, like brush up on the rules so you understand what to do and when to do those things. Blake, do you have any thoughts on what a person should try to do after they've checked in?
Yeah, yeah. Once you're checked in and you made sure that you still got everything on you, I would say at that point is a great time to go ahead and start introducing yourself to people and start getting to know some people. Normally, they have you go ahead and sit at tables. So just go ahead and meet the people at your table and start making friends that way.
Yeah, I think one of the best things is after like those pairings go up or any table assignments go up, just have a quick chat. Even if other people might not be as talkative, just introduce yourself, say your name, and also if like pairings haven't gone up yet, you can go up to people and just start talking to them. I think that's one of the cooler things is most people are friendly enough that if you go start talking to them, they're going to talk right back. And I think that's one of the coolest things about OGSs. And then the next thing is once you've been given like your starter deck or packs, depending on how your release weekend is gonna go, uh, what is the best thing to do once you actually have the product in your hand? What do you guys think that is?
Just leave it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
get them things into sleeves as quickly as possible. They are a rare commodity right now.
Protect those cards.
Yeah,
Protect the
and it,
cards.
yeah, and if you haven't, if you're
And
doing a
if
starter deck challenge, oh, go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, I was just saying, if that's one of the things you forgot, you go up to the counter and you buy some sleeves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hmm.
Good thing about playing it in LGS is they generally have everything you may have forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm.
I'll,
Oh, go ahead.
uh, if you guys had to recommend any sleeves, any sleeve brand to our listeners, what would you guys say the best one is to pick up if they did forget sleeves or don't have any?
Game Genic, hands down.
Yeah. Uh, I haven't tried Game Genic yet. I did pick some up recently, so I will be trying some of those out. But I also enjoyed Dragon Shields as well.
Yeah, I would say the
As
Dragon Shield dual mats, if they have those are pretty crispy. Speaking of stuff you need to bring, what do you guys think that the essentials are that someone would need to bring, materials wise, to their LGS for these release weekend events?
Okay, so we've already mentioned some of the basics. So like sleeves, your play mats,
Yep, playmat definitely.
your deck boxes, your deck if you need to bring one pre-constructed, and your counters and dice and all of that. One other thing I would go ahead and recommend is, if they allow it, if is bringing a water bottle or just being able to grab some kind of drink, because especially for some smaller stores, all these people in the event can get very crowded and can get very hot in the room that you're in. So you'll get thirsty, especially after a few rounds. So make sure to have some drinks on hand to stay hydrated.
Yeah, I can't echo that enough. You definitely need to either get your hands on a beverage or bring one. Most LGSs are cool with it as long as it's got like a lid on it or something. You're not like a spill risk. Um, a small snack of some sort that you can have in your
Hmm.
bag. Because some of these events can last a long time, especially if you see people are gonna you see the control mirror going up against each other. Games can go a while, so and maybe bring something along to entertain yourself in between rounds as well. If you can't find a match to play, which generally you can, maybe bring your Switch if you have one, a good book or something so you don't get too bored in between rounds. Because I've seen people get bored in between rounds and then they're like, "Well, I think I'm just gonna go. I don't want to wait."
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just like a good snack. Like whether I think a bag of Cheez Its would be good or goldfish, whichever one you prefer. A
No
granola bar.
Cheetos.
No
No
Cheetos.
Ha!
Cheetos.
Yeah,
No
no
Cheetos. Nope.
Cheetos. No Cheetos. Uh, a granola bar, maybe like some dried fruit, I think is also a good one. Something that you can get down pretty easily, but will also give you some sustenance. And then like just yeah, like a drink because if you're playing back and forth talking with people, your throat is gonna get really dry. You're gonna want something to drink and stuff like that. Uh, and then The last thing I want to touch on in this shorter episode is just what you should do after the tournament's done. Uh, what do you guys think the best thing for a player to do after they've been done playing? Everyone's cleaning up. Maybe the shop is starting to close. What are some things they can do after to help them stay connected with that shop or with the players that were playing with them?
Get people's socials and or phone numbers if you want to stay in contact and if they're open to sharing that kind of thing. Maybe talk to your LGS and other players to see what the best day and or time for everyone to get together to play is, for just casual play, because casual play can be just as fun as getting out there and being competitive.
It shouldn't need reminding, but I've seen people that needed reminding. Make sure to pick up your pricing if there is any.
There
For
you go.
sure.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to do is sit through a whole event and leave, and then be like, "Oh wait,
Where's my
I left
promo?
some packs behind. I should have got."
And you brought up what to do when the LGS is like cleaning up. It's always a classy move to lend a helping hand to your LGS, and they will remember you for it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At the very least, clean up after yourself, especially if you brought like snacks or anything. Make sure you throw away your snack bags and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think just overall connect with people if you can, help clean up. I think you guys kind of summed it up pretty well. Everyone's excited. I think for those of us at Gen Con, we saw the hype around it. We saw the overwhelming support the game got, and obviously most of these starter deck challenges and stuff events are selling out or will sell out by the time the event is supposed to start. And just have fun with it, I think, is something else. Enjoy it, because there's not going to be anything like this for a long time, I believe. uh, with the IP and the overall excitement, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a great time this weekend. And I just want to ask, do you guys have any other closing thoughts for this upcoming weekend on the pre-release? Or not pre-release, release weekend, shall I say?
just remember to have fun.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do. If I see any of you all out there at some of the events up in London and Toronto areas up here in Canada, I look forward to meeting you and looking forward to some fun. And finally having some cards because
Yeah,
I'm a
cards.
poor little non Gen Con going scrub who doesn't have any cards yet. Stop.
All right. Well, we want to say thank you to everyone for listening. We hope you all enjoy your times at your LGSs and playing this game we all know and love. Thank you for listening to episode 18 of the Glimmer Gang podcast. We're all super excited for release, and we hope all these tips help you guys. Make sure to check out our other socials for more wonderful content, and Glimmer on.